Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. You're watching the main menu. I am your host, Michelle Wakem. I have a very fun show in store for you today, especially for all you fashionistas out there. I'm including myself in that statement. I'm very excited. Joining me today is Erika Lynn Smith. She is an upcoming and rising fashion designer from around here locally, and I'd like to introduce her to the show. Erika, welcome.
Thank you.
So before we get into some fashion that we have going on today and talk about some of your designs, I'd like to find out a little bit about you. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up?
Yep, I am from Maine. I grew up in South Portland for elementary school, and then I moved to Gorham in 8th grade. I went to high school there, and then I had the opportunity to go to Portland Arts and Technology High School my junior year, where I studied fashion merchandising. So I was able to go to Portland half day and then back to Gorham for the rest of the day for the last 2 years of high school.
Oh, wonderful. How was that for you? How was that experience from being able to do that, public schools, and going to more of a specialized school? How did that differ?
I really enjoyed it. I think it was a great opportunity, and I was able to, that's where I discovered that I really wanted to study fashion. I had this interest in sewing, and then we actually did fashion shows. And then from there, I decided to go on to Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia, where I studied fashion and minored in accessory design.
Oh, wonderful. So when did you know, at what point in your life did you know that fashion was going to be something that you wanted to do?
Probably in high school.
In high school?
When I was in the fashion merchandising class.
Okay.
It just opened up a lot of new doors, you know, from going to sewing a quilt, learning how to quilt, and then going to an actual pattern and making a garment to produce for a runway show.
Oh, wonderful.
I just really liked that whole concept.
It's a hidden talent that you
I didn't know I had.
discovered and developed. That's really wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you know that you wanted to make fashion your career, that you wanted to pursue it full time?
Probably in high school. You know, I decided I was going to further my education and go on to college. And then once I was in college, and you know, I had these amazing professors who were in the field, and they could tell you about their experiences and just like the people that we met and the opportunities that we had, like for that 4 years. I knew it was for me.
When going to the Portland Arts and Technology School, what do they offer there to help encourage or to help build on your skills and your talents?
Well, the class itself that I took was based on fashion merchandising.
Okay.
And what you did on a daily basis we had a retail store as well, so we were doing merchandising, but some of the students wanted to do more merchandising, some wanted to do more design, which I did more design, but a lot of the other classes at the school were more hands-on, and I'm definitely more a hands-on person. I learn better than sitting in the classroom.
Okay.
So that was definitely a good opportunity.
Great. Now, do you sketch your designs, or how do you come up with your ideas to
I do.
design?
I'm usually inspired by something. It could be an existing garment. It could be an image. It could be, you know, a structure, or even a fabric. If I find a fabric that I like, and then I'll do a sketch. But it always changes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with a sketch, then I'll go to the dress form, have some fittings with my model, and then the final piece is always a different outcome.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
It is.
So it changes it as it goes
I enjoy
along.
that process, though.
Really great.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned before that you have auditioned for...
Project Runway?
Yes, it's a reality show, fashion reality show. What was that experience like?
That was interesting. I had just graduated college, and I figured why not give it a try, because you really can't do it when you're in college, because you have to take time off if you do make the show. Mm-hmm. I went to New York. I had a really good friend who was living there. I just showed up with my 3 designs from my senior project. I had my portfolio. I stood in line with everyone else who's a designer. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's people with suitcases. They had like their clothes in trash bags, like they were just getting off the bus. It was interesting. It was very different, and I didn't know what to expect, so I just kind of went with the flow. And we got in line, and we had to go in individually. And once we were in the room, I actually got a chance to meet Tim Gunn and Christian, who was one of the contestants on the show. And from there, they looked at your collection, and they actually asked to look at my portfolio, which was a big step, because either they liked you or not, because there were so many people auditioning for the show. Mm-hmm. And they told me they really liked my work, but I had to focus on me as a designer, because I was too fresh out of school. So, but it was a really cool experience.
I'm sure you learned a lot from it.
I did. Just to have their feedback was nice.
Absolutely. We had the opportunity to be a part or to film an event that you had designed a dress for, and it was called the Blue Wrap event, and it was organized by Partners of World Health. And do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure.
and what it is? Because I'm sure Blue Wrap, everyone's probably, what's Blue Wrap?
What's Blue Wrap,
Yes.
yeah. It's actually, this year was their second annual show. I actually found out about the show through my teacher, Jane Krasno, at Portland Arts and Technology the first year. They're looking for designers, and they pretty much gave you a bag of this recycled medical paper. It's the Blue Wrap, which they sterilize instruments with at the hospitals, and they just had tons and tons of it donated to their center. The Partners for World Health, what they do is they collect unused medical equipment and supplies, and then they bring them to third world countries on missions.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it was a great fundraiser for them, and it was their last year, their first year, it was a really good turnout. So they decided to do it again this year. So the first year I made one dress, and then this year I made two.
Now, is the synthetic fabric, now, is there, how was it working with this fabric as opposed to regular clothing fabric? Was there a really big, did you notice a big difference with working?
It's pretty much paper.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's flexible and it sews really well, but it can rip.
So it's delicate.
It's very delicate, and I didn't have good luck ironing it. It melted, so I pretty much had to deal with the wrinkles and creases, but I think that helps with the look of the design. I just incorporated it.
Do you find that it sews easier, or
it does sew pretty well.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I would compare it to like a cotton fabric.
Really? That's very
But
interesting.
you got to be careful you can't rip your seams.
Well, like I said, we had the opportunity to film that event and be there and take a look at some of those designs, and we'd actually like to share a clip of that video right now, if we could, please.
To create the dress. Erika Lynn Smith, she's actually a fashion designer and a seamstress right here in the Portland area. She began her fashion career in high school when her talents allowed her to transfer from public school to study fashion right here at Portland Arts and Technology High School. So talented, both of you.
And that's where we, as you saw, was a clip of one of Erika's design at the Blue Wrap. And like as she mentioned, it's a synthetic fabric that's used in the medical field that otherwise would have been disposed of and ended up in landfills and things like that. So it's amazing to be able to take something like that and turn it into something wearable. It's a beautiful dress. And also a very special treat, we actually have a couple of the models with us here today, and wearing the dress that you designed for this. And we would love to show the viewers what that looks like. So if we could have our models, please. And Erika will be able to tell us a little bit about the dress and how she designed it and whatnot. And it'd be great. You can take it over from here if you'd like.
So I have two models. I have Alexandra and Avery, and they're both wearing outfits completely made of Blue Wrap. And in Alexandra's outfit, it's actually 3 different shades of Blue Wrap. It's 1, 2, 3, and then the centerpiece is made out of masks. And then also there's top stitching here, which is expired sutures.
Wow,
as
that's
well.
amazing. Like when you say masks, you're talking about surgical masks, but they're actually worn over the face of the doctor.
Yeah, so I really liked the texture there, and that's another item that was just going to be disposed of. So I incorporated it in the detail. And then Avery is a ballerina.
Aw, beautiful Avery.
And her outfit is also made of 2 different types of Blue Wrap. Her sleeves are the hair nets that they wear in the OR. And then the bottom is a couple layers of Blue Wrap, and so is her bow. And then she has her beautiful sparkly shoes, which are made out of Blue Wrap as well,
right down to
and
her
embellished
toes.
with rhinestones.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Beautiful. That's amazing that this was use to sterilize
instruments,
and
Could
they're wearing
garbage.
it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So recycling in a great way. We are going to have another model join us. This is another design from you.
This is Lisa. She's a fitness model and a personal trainer. And this is a bikini I designed for her for a photo shoot that she did. And she also wore it in the WMPG fashion show that was on May 5th as well.
Fabulous. Beautiful.
It's a double string white bikini. She wanted something pretty basic, and we decided to add some double strings and change the lines as well.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Very nice.
Thank you, Lisa. So going back to the blue wrap, how long do you have to prepare something like that, to design something like that? Is there a time frame?
Well, now that it's you know, they've done it for 2 years, it's usually, been in April, so I mean, I could start now, but I'm very last minute. So I usually do it about a month before, because I feel like more inspired knowing that it's coming, and I think I work better under pressure.
Really?
So both of those were probably made in, about a month before the show.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Now, going back to you personally, are there any designers, fashion designers out there that inspire you, or that help inspire you and give you ideas of maybe for your next outfit?
Yeah, I mean, I do follow trends, and I watch, you know, the Fashion Week and whatnot, and I've always tried to be inspired by something that's not happening. Like something like what's going to be the next thing. So that's kind of where I go. That's where I start with a project. Like usually if I know I have a show coming up, then I'll start researching. I'll go through magazines, you know, I'll you know, see things online, on TV, or if I see people out wearing things that inspire me, that's usually where all my inspiration comes from.
Okay. And do you carry a sketchbook around? So if
I
you do have an idea, you
I have a little,
jot it down
I
so
have
you
a
don't
little
forget.
notebook I keep in my purse, and then sometimes I'll put notes in my phone as well, and then I'll go back to that. But I do have a sketchbook that I try to, you know, take time to just write things down, concepts, ideas, and you can always go back.
And I understand accessories too, you like to design those as well. Any accessory or any one in particular?
Women's accessories, that was my minor in school. I love shoes. I've done a lot of embellishing with shoes, handbags, and, you know, hair pieces.
And women love purses.
I know. They definitely do. Yeah, I had the opportunity to learn how to work with leather in college, which was great.
Now, is that difficult? Because it's stiff. It tends to be a thicker fabric material.
Yeah, depending on which type of leather that you use and the type of machine to have the right stitching.
Is there a fabric that you like working with better, or?
I like a lot of. I have definitely had a lot of fun with fabrics that have like stretch, like a cotton lycra or like spandex and whatnot, because I can get a better fit. With anything that is cotton or doesn't have stretch, it's a lot of manipulating of the fabric to get that perfect fit. But, I mean, I like both sides of it. I usually try to switch it up. Like a couple of the pieces that Alex will be wearing today, one is a bikini, so that's more of a stretch fabric, and then the other outfit is all cottons.
And each design that you produce, is it usually for a specific event, or is someone recommending for them personally, or?
Usually I do design for an event. The white bikini that Lisa was wearing, I designed for her. She came to me and told me what she needed, and then we went from there, and also the other bikini that she's wearing was the same kind of concept. So it depends. I've done some prom dresses as well, custom designs, which I enjoy because I can work with them one-on-one. And, you know, whatever the event is, it's going to be more unique because nobody else is going to have that outfit, that bikini, that dress, whatever it is that they need.
That's amazing. How those turn out. Well,
They're good, yeah.
I bet they were happy.
Yeah.
Princessy-like, and that's great. We have, Alexandra is ready for another outfit. And,
yes, the outfit that she's going to be wearing was in the WMPG show as well. I think it's been 3 years that I've been doing that show. Okay. And she's modeled for me in every one. And this outfit is kind of like 50s inspired, like summer outfit. She has blue shorts and a striped top as well. You have a cute cuff detail and bows, kind of a little bit high-waisted, coming back this year as well, and then a bralette top to match. kind of a sailor theme, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Very summery. Sailory. Very beautiful.
Thank you.
And here's Lisa ready for her next swimsuit.
Yes. So Lisa's done some fitness competitions this year.
Okay.
So this bikini was designed for her competition, but she's done quite a few photo shoots too, which has been great.
Wonderful.
And this is a red metallic spandex, and then it is completely covered in Swarovski crystals.
Beautiful.
And it has the scrunch detail on the back, which is kind of a new thing, but also accentuates and helps.
Absolutely.
And I have a really good friend who actually, she customizes in crystals full time. That's what she does for work. So I had the opportunity to work with her for a day, and she helped me with the design. Yeah, it's a pretty good fit.
You look beautiful
She looks
in
fabulous.
it. Absolutely. It's like it makes me want to go do some sit-ups or something.
Right. It's very inspiring.
Very inspiring. Thank you, Lisa. Now behind me here, I have a beautiful dress. It makes me want to put it on. It just brings me back to childhood because just the color
Pink
and
and
the
the flowers.
pink and the fluff. Can you talk about this piece for me?
Yep, this piece here, I just call it my pink dress, but it was designed for the Runway to Roses show that was held at the Regency last year. And we decided, one of the ladies who I worked with to organize the event, Denise, she was a breast cancer survivor. And I was like, well, we should just do something for breast cancer. We should have like a pink finale, some way to end the show that's going to make it different. So there were other local designers as well. And we decided to just have our finale be all pink. And I was like, I'm not just going to do a pink dress. I want to do something different. And all the cups are made of like synthetic flowers. And then also, the synthetic flowers on the bottom as well, because I figured it was springtime and be fun. And then the corset top is made of fabric, and on the lines are ribbon detail, and then the bottom is a tulle skirt. And Alexandra wore this, and it looks beautiful. I think we have a picture of it as well.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, we will be showing a slideshow of a lot more designs that you have, which is really great.
And this one was a little bit out of the box for me. It was more using unusual materials like the flowers and then the ribbon, because I'm usually a perfectionist when it comes to certain things, so this was different for me, but I'm glad it came out really well.
It's really beautiful. Now you and Alexandra, you've been working for a while together. How did you two meet?
Alex and I met, I worked for Jill McGowan, actually right out of school. I had an internship with her, and then I worked full time, and Alex has modeled for Jill in the past, and also her mother works with Jill.
Oh, okay.
So she always was in the studio working with us, and she's an amazing model and is very comfortable with her, and she's been very flexible to work with me for all my shows and photo shoots as well.
Great. And next up we have Alexandra's ready with another outfit.
This was a bikini, 50s style, like a mustard and ivory striped bikini that I designed for the MAINE show. I really wanted to do something high-waisted to go with the shorts as well. And I've done a few bikinis, but this was something a little different. And I think it fits her really well. And it's something that could definitely, she could go to the beach and wear it now.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. I love the stripes.
Yeah.
I like how they go one way and
yeah,
then it's a nice...
I like to play with stripes a little bit. I did that on the shirt as well, just something new. Try to incorporate. So when I do a show, I try to do a collection that goes together, but it doesn't always happen that way, from the sketch to the final design.
I understand you guys call each other the dream team.
Yes, we work very well together.
That's great. I believe that's it for our fashion runway.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. And we can go into the slideshow a little bit, and you can talk to us a little bit about the different pictures we'll see up on the screen. We can pull those up, please.
Okay, so this one is, it's an orange, and this is the blue wrap dress I did the first year. This was a photo shoot we did at our farm in Falmouth with a photographer. Her name is Tiffany, and she's out of the Bangor area. So most of these designs were in the MAINE show last year as well. And we had this photo shoot was amazing. It was like this fall, it was October, it was about 80 degrees.
Oh.
So we had amazing sunshine, it was warm. And that dress was actually on the cover of the Go magazine, which I think we have a picture of as well.
Yes, we do.
And this was a yellow jacket, and it had hot pink buttons, with pink embroidery, and then this is the orange skirt. Kind of a bralette top like she just had on, but it was the orange and white, like a cream striped top. And there's the pink dress.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it looks amazing on her. It's different from on the dress form. And that's the same day. It was a horse farm that we had done the shoot. And then, this one was a shoot we did in Cape Elizabeth. And there's Lisa in her bikini.
That's the one we saw here today.
Yep, she had that on today. And that was last year's WMPG show. These designs that Alex is wearing now. Kind of had a lace theme. Everything had a little bit of lace. And then this one is a dress that I made out of a sunflower seed bag.
Really?
50-pound bag. Yep, it was called Rubbish to Runway. They had contacted me to use my blue wrap dress, and I figured, well, if I'm going to be part of their show, I'd like to do one more design. So I went through the house looking for something that was recyclable or reused. My dad had been collecting these bags, so I had a few of them to work with, and it actually fit her really well.
It's beautiful. It's actually one of my favorites. I love that.
It's very interesting.
Logo, that's wonderful. You had mentioned WMPG a lot. What is that exactly?
It's a local radio station. I actually found out about the show because I had been out to dinner with a friend and we walked by and there was an event going on. And I was like, how did I not know about, they do a fashion show every year.
Oh, wow.
So I stayed for that show, and then after that I had contacted someone who was organizing the event at the time, and ever since then I've been part of the show. I think it's one of the only things that we have locally every year. So a lot of local designers look forward to being able to showcase their work.
Great. And that's every year, you said? At the same time every year?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And usually, how many outfits do you
I always try to do at least 3.
3 outfits.
But this year I had 2 models, so I had 4.
Great.
I had the 4 looks. Lisa wore her 2 bikinis, and then Alex wore the 2 looks that you saw today.
Okay. And
These are some bikinis I did a couple years ago when I first started working with Alex. And then the cover of the Go magazine, that was nice. That was a surprise too. They asked us to do a photo shoot to promote the show, and we weren't sure what they were going to do with the images. And then Thursday the paper came out, and she was right on the cover.
Nice surprise.
Yeah.
That's great.
And they actually used my dress from Blue Wrap last year in the Go magazine this year.
And the Go magazine, is it local or is it a national?
Yep, it's part of the Portland Press Herald. On Thursdays they put it out to show all the events that are going on in the area.
Okay.
So they're definitely promoting the show. And these pieces are my senior collection from college. I did hand dyed, like a dip dyed, and then I did a lot of hand knitting as well on these pieces. It was very different for me, something that
How did
had
you
never
like that?
It was a whole new experience. I had never really dyed fabric, and I had to learn how to knit. I knew how to crochet, so I picked it up. But the pieces are very unique. It was different for me, but I enjoyed it.
I like the color, the kind of gradient.
Yeah, it's a different type of technique. You have to dip the fabric. And then this was from one of the WMPG shows, and that's a knit fabric, like a stretch fabric.
Okay. Great color.
Yeah. Kind of a Marilyn Monroe style dress.
Definitely.
And then it had the flower details. And then that was this year's advertisement for the Blue Wrap. There's a lot of pictures of Alex in that dress.
So it's very inspiring. I mean, that just the idea that it's not made for what you turned it into. It's fascinating.
And then that was the article on the fashion show this year. And it's Alex with 2 other models.
It was a great turnout too at that event.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good turnout. I think it's just going to continue to get better because it's for a great cause as well.
It really is, and I really think it's going to catch on and actually go beyond Maine. I believe it will at some point for sure.
Well, the Rubbish to Runway show that I did was Long Way Home, and they're similar to Partners for World Health. So that was, I believe this was their first time doing the show, and that's actually would be my next event. There's going to be a show in October, which I'll be part of again. Great. So now I've got to find another recyclable item to make a design out of.
I'm sure you will. I mean, based on what I've seen, your talent is definitely outstanding. It
Thank
really
you.
is. You're welcome.
It's something I definitely enjoy.
So you had mentioned that some other upcoming events is the, what was it?
It's Rubbish to Runway.
Rubbish to Runway.
Yep, and
takes
that's
place
in Newburyport, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
So last year was my first time being part of that show, and Alex modeled the blue wrap dress, the first one, the two-tone from the first year, and then she wore the sunflower dress as well.
Okay, wonderful.
So
And
that'll be a fall event, which is different, because most of the shows we have here are in the spring.
so that'll be nice. A different season.
Yeah,
kind of
mix
get
it
a
up.
different. Do you tend to use different colors depending on the season, or
Yeah,
doesn't-
I try to go with the season, but it just depends on what I can find. I mean, around here we don't have a lot of fabric stores. I usually just go to Joann's or Martin's, or actually I go with Joe McGowan twice a year to New York, so I'll try to take time to go to the fabric stores when I'm there.
Do you find it's a big difference as
Oh,
opposed
it's
to
a
going to
huge
Joann's
difference.
Fabric and going to New York and
Yeah,
finding?
it's like 3 floors of just rows and rows and rows of fabric.
Are you
It's-
serious?
yeah.
Oh my God. Is it overwhelming? Or
It was at first, but now I look forward to it.
do you go there with an idea of what you want to look for, or
Sometimes, like the red bikini that I did for Lisa, I knew, she said she wanted red, so I went to this place, it's called Spandex House, and it was just floors and floors of fabric, and there was tons of red, but I decided to go with the metallic, with the rhinestones, to make it more unique, because a lot of the competition bikinis are more of a solid color, and the metallic was new.
is there any particular clothing that you like designing more than others? Do you like bathing suits or dresses or the accessories? Is there a favorite that you enjoy doing more?
I think I enjoy dresses the most because it's like that one piece. It's a staple item. You don't have to do multiples. Like the outfit that Alex was wearing today with the 3 pieces, that's something that I don't usually do. So I'll usually think, okay, what did I do last show? What can I do different this time that I haven't done to kind of challenge myself? Because sometimes dress can be easy because it's one piece, but it depends on how complicated it is in the seams and, you know, the details in the fabrication. The bikinis is definitely new for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you do great. I love each one
It's
that
like
came
my
out.
new thing right now.
And you like that 50s inspired look
I
with
do.
the high waist. It's great to have that come back because you don't see too much of it. So, but it's great. Now you had mentioned that you are inspired with certain trends. Are there any names of fashion designers that you like to follow, whether it be Vera Wang or any Donna Karan, any of those that really inspire you?
Yeah, I think I've always been really inspired by Betsy Johnson.
Oh, okay.
She does really funky, quirky designs, and like every time she does Fashion Week, a runway show, she always does a cartwheel and a split at the end.
She does?
She's just very different than the other designers. I mean, I'm very inspired by all of them, but I guess she would probably be my favorite. I do follow them here and there, but I don't know if there's anyone else.
No, I don't know if I've Betsy. Oh, I'm sorry. What's her name?
Betsy Johnson.
Betsy Johnson. And is she? Where's she from?
I believe New York.
So she's in New York and does stuff there. Do you travel there often to New York to?
I go twice a year with Jill for her trade shows. I still work for her part-time. She has a retail store in Freeport. I work there for the Christmas season. And then she does a trade show twice a year where she has the opportunity to go and sell her collection for the next season. So if she, like this fall would be September show, she'd be selling spring items
Okay.
for all the retail stores.
And you help. Do you help set up the store? Like, does she have a storefront window that you put, your mannequins and you set it up?
Yep, she
that
has
way?
a great store in Freeport, and then when we go to New York, you have a booth.
Oh,
So you have, one side would be the fall, one side would be the spring, and then she specializes in white shirts.
Oh, okay.
So just depends on what the customer's looking for. You meet a lot of interesting people, and then just being in New York is so inspiring.
I bet. I mean, it's so much different. Maine and New York. I mean, there's really no comparison. It's like I feel like Maine. We're like the last people to get
Everything.
everything. Like once we get it, it's already done and over with over there. So sometimes it's frustrating.
It's nice to get away, but I mean, I was born and raised here, so it's hard to think to get up and go.
Really? So you
Yeah.
think maybe you'd want to stay here and try to make a name for yourself here in Maine? Or?
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that would be
I mean,
great.
Jill's very inspiring. She's from here, and she went to New York and came back, and she's very successful. So definitely is a possibility.
Great. So where do you see yourself in the future?
I think I really enjoy doing custom work. I think that's where I'd like to start. And go from there. I mean, if I could work for another designer or work with another designer for more experience, I think that would be great. But I do really enjoy custom work, because working one-on-one with somebody instead of mass producing.
Do you see yourself trying again for Project Runway, maybe?
I might. Everyone keeps telling me I need to try out for a Fashion Star. That's another new show.
I haven't heard of that one. What's
Yeah.
that one about?
That one's a little bit different of a twist. There's the designers, I think it's 3 looks that they make, and then there's 3 companies that will buy their look.
Okay.
And once they buy the look, it will be in the stores the next day.
Wow.
Like it's H&M, Saks, and Macy's, I believe.
That's
So they
amazing.
bid on the garments.
So right
so it's
overnight, you could have something.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Which would you prefer, Project Runway or that
I mean,
one?
I've been watching Project Runway since like I was in college, so I follow that show a little bit more. Fashion Star is still kind of new. I think I'd watch another season, but I think it's worth a try.
Absolutely.
Why
Well, I
not?
think you have a pretty good chance.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Pretty fabulous. I know I'm going to keep an eye out for you, and I hope that everyone else out there would keep an eye out for your stuff too, because I really do believe you're going to be, another household name with your fashion. I think
hope
it's
so.
beautiful. Is there anything you'd like to add before we close the show?
I mean, if people just want to keep an eye on my Facebook page for any updates or things that I'm doing, that's what I have right now, and that would just be e.lindesign/Facebook, and that's where I always put up my photos for photo shoots and any events that I have coming up. So that's, if they needed to contact me, that would be the way.
Are you open to, if say someone out there that's watching and prom or winter carnival's coming up and say, oh, I saw this girl on public access, her stuff is really great, could they contact you if
definitely.
they wanted a custom,
if they-
custom dress made, or?
Yep, if there's a special event that's coming up,
Fabulous.
they needed a custom design. I mean, I have a lot of people who will contact me and they have a concept or an idea of what they want to look for, and they can't find it locally or it doesn't fit right. I mean, I also do alterations as well.
Oh, okay. That's a big thing. 'Cause I know, someone like me who's short, I have a hard time with pants.
I hear ya.
Especially pants. It's good to know that that you do that as well. I bet
Yeah.
you get a lot of business with that too.
Yeah, I do a lot of friends and family, but if there's, a certain item that you love and it just doesn't fit right, you can always get it altered.
Great. And at the end of the show, we'll have your information up on the screen. So if anyone out there that is interested in having something done, the information will be up on the screen for you to contact.
Great,
and
thank you.
Be great. But anything else you'd like to add?
Not really. I
Great.
think we've covered a lot.
Me too. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone at home, for watching. This has been the Main Menu, and see you next time.